In 2009, you headed up a grand jury to investigate allegations of sexual abuse by then Penn State assistant coach Jerry Sandusky. Can you talk a little bit about this one?
I think we got to be limited in what we say there because there's still ongoing motions in there. To say the least, when we learned what was going on, I was shocked. Everybody was shocked. I can tell you how it started. It was a referral from the district attorney of Center County. And it was soon after I was reelected. And this file comes down. I'm sitting at my desk, and I'm reading the file. And I said, why me? Because I knew the long-term implications of an investigation like this. And I think some people would have said, we've got to refer this out to somebody else. Well, we couldn't. And this is my job. And sat down with the investigative team, and we began looking. And I know there's been a lot of criticism. Back then, there was a lot of criticism of using the grand jury. In fact, my eventual successor said, you should never use a grand jury in something like this. Well, obviously, I think she was proven wrong in that, including by her own expert that she brought in, because we would have never gotten people to testify if they hadn't gone into the grand jury first and talked to them. So the fact that there was a crime like that was amazing. I had handled some similar type child abuse cases years before as an assistant district attorney. So like anybody else, I was totally repulsed by that. But that it would happen at some place like Penn State goes to show you it's not the institution, it's the individual. And that's what this case was.
Can you talk once again about public reaction when this case became public? Both when Jerry Sandusky was indicted as well as some of the other fallout from the side, such as Joe Paterno's firing.
That was a difficult period of time. Keep in mind that I was no longer Attorney General, so I wasn't conducting the investigation. But I did know what was going on. And I wasn't aware of what was going on in the grand jury, but I was aware of other things because the state police were also involved in it. And my commissioner, Frank Noonan, had been my person in charge of all my agents as Attorney General. So I knew things were progressing. The difficult part was I was also sitting on the board of governors at Penn State, and I had to keep quiet because this was grand jury, and I could not release it. When it went public, I was not up there. I was here in Harrisburg. I couldn't make the meeting that day. And I would say, obviously, the reaction by the students that first day wasn't a good reaction. Violence is never an answer. And as you know, there was somewhat of a riot going on up there. The reaction of the student leaders the second day was a wonderful reaction. And I've been so proud of those students. I worked closely with them on that second, third, and fourth days that they got everything back under control. The divisiveness of the issue of Coach Paterno is an unfortunate one. I've been accused by many people of different things about Joe Paterno. And all I can say to everybody is I repeated that day what Joe had said. And you may remember this. He said, I wish I would have done more. And I said, yeah, I wish you would have done more. I didn't accuse him of anything. I did not lead a charge to fire him, as some people think. I wish I would have been up there when the vote to fire took place. I was on the phone and did not vote because it was more than just Joe. It was the president, President Spanier at the same time, because they end up calling him, and I think that was a huge mistake. That if we could have gone, and if I was there, we could have gone, I would have had my state police detail. We could have gone and sat down with Mr. Paterno. But, unfortunately, those are events that are, already occurred. We can't change them, and we have to live with them.
How do you think that investigation affected you politically? I
lost votes. If you look at Center County, I lost votes. In fact, I don't think I won Center County. I think every other time I ran, I won Center County. Although I will tell you, there's only been one person since I left office as governor that's come up to me and say, we beat you. I went to Penn State, we beat you. We got even. Nobody else has talked that way. So, but when I became Attorney General, I said I was going to do what needs to be done. When I became governor, I said I'm going to do what needs to be done. It needed to be investigated. And unfortunately, there are consequences in investigations.
What inspired you to run for governor for the 2010 race?
The long answer to that is, if the Attorney General's office was not term limited, I'd hopefully still be the Attorney General, because I really liked it. But I knew I couldn't run again, and I felt like I had more to give to the state. The numbers of my win for re-election were so big that a lot of people came to me within the party and said, "You need to run for governor," and that's the first time that I really started thinking about running for governor. There were other people that were already talking about being in the race, but eventually most of them got out. I think Sam Rohr stayed in the race. We had a primary, but I had a lot of help from the Republican Party and from the Republican Governors Association after the primary, and they helped me reach that decision beforehand, knowing that if I did it, if I win the primary, I'm going to have that kind of support, because you have to raise a lot of money. And we're talking, I think the first race, $25 million for the race. Well, for a government employee, that's a lot of money.